to declare anybody white that they want to. They don't care how dark that person might be, a group might be, they can declare them white, because there is no white race.
But I think that supremacist attitude of whites is no more, it doesn't work anymore. I don't think people are buying that argument. And earlier everybody realizes it was for all the people, that we realize that nobody can manipulate beyond a certain point. There will be orthodox people on every side and who will refuse to reconcile. But ultimate answer is reconciliation, unless you come out of this thought that you are supreme to every other race. You have no way, the time is gone. Whatever they wanted to exploit, already exploited. Now they are on the downhill side.
But that's
The
why,
people who impose their belief system on you are losing their own belief.
yeah, that's the reason why
See, today blacks will be much more devout Christians than the whites.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that sense of godhood, sense of goodness is in everyone's heart. It's more in the ancient civilization than the new civilizations.
Yes.
But that is why, the knowledge, the information that's uncovering disinformation and misinformation, that knowledge now that's giving people the truth, that's what's causing the problem that we're having. Because all of a sudden they say, oh, they're awake, they see, they understand that we've been lying to them all of this time, so we need to separate them quickly.
Right.
We need to get them
The
out.
way you are writing books, our people are also writing their own history books now.
Yeah.
That what we were and what we are not and what we are. So while so far we were following our history and given to us by whites. Now our people say we will write our history. We will know what by what they are telling us. Same thing will be done by blacks also, to rewrite their history, to present their own truth self from ancient times to present times. I think that's what people are doing, and that's a wonderful exercise. That is what will actually subdue all this anger and also subdue this false sense of superiority, etc.
So the greatest,
What are the whites without blacks and natives and Indians giving them all the wealth? Where are they?
well, the greatest fear is for all of us to come together and start talking and sharing our stories.
Yeah.
That's what they fear. They don't want us coming together. They have worked for years, centuries to keep us apart. And now that technology that they wanted to really divide us, that same technology is working against them, and it is connecting us because we see the commonalities and what's happening to us. Like, we didn't know you were having these racist problems. We thought we were the only ones, and now we see, they're doing that to others. So we need to unite,
Yes.
and that is the greatest fear.
Yeah.
But we must unite, regardless of our religious beliefs,
Yeah.
regardless of our culture, regardless of our philosophies and all of that. We must unite in order to combat this evil that's come against all of us. These handful of people are controlling the world.
But do you think that in all these years of struggle, has racism decreased or it has increased in years? What is your feeling? Your struggle to gain your identity and gain justice, and whites realizing that mistakes they did, their forefathers did 200 years back, 500 years back. So is that reducing the inequity in a social harmony, or no, it is still equally bitter?
I don't think they fully acknowledge the wrong that was done, the injustice. And that is the reason why critical race theory is being thrown around. They've taken the books and everything out because they have not fully accepted or embraced the wrong that was done. So we're writing the books, like Ms. Johnson said, we're communicating, but at the same time, are they accepting and receiving that the wrong that was done back then?
See, as I said, the time of supremacist racism is gone. The towering control over the world of the whites is going down, and sooner they realize the better, because otherwise they are the losers. Because today, all this, where has it taken this entire exploitation of natural resources of the people? Where has taken them? They are unhappy. They don't have families. They are equally depressed. So what's the use? Europe is fighting with each other, fighting, destroying each other. So where are we going? So if you realize that they were thriving on the treasures of old civilizations, whether India or whether Africa or natives or Latin America. So if those countries say no more exploitation, we will use our resources, then what happens to them?
Well,
Britain is already down.
mhm.
UK is no more anywhere in the world. It ruled the world at one time. US is in through a crisis. Okay, they are too giant. They will still survive and do well. But look at Europe. Where is Germany going?
Yeah.
Because they were using our resources to rise. Now, unless they give an equitable rights to the people whom they exploited, they cannot thrive. They will fall into their civilization will decay. So it is better for them to understand that what these people are saying, give them due space. Why they could not give vaccine to African countries, why India had to do it? Why they wanted to charge $200 to African countries without any liability while India gave it free or at a very low cost? That is the difference. When a developing country with very low income per capita income can give free vaccines to all these countries, including all the African countries, why couldn't the European and America give it to them? How much profiteering should they do? So this profiteering which started way back in 15th century or I don't know even 10th century, that is still the mindset has not changed.
Capitalism is where they embrace, that is how they embrace, and they
Yeah,
have the
see,
different
No, but
classes.
India is also capitalist. India is not a communist country.
Oh,
It
okay.
is the civilizational thinking.
Okay.
Because if I believe that okay, I have free economy in India,
Mm-hmm.
but I must serve the people equally because we are all one family, the global one family, then we will do it. In our own country, we distributed 2 billion vaccine doses free. We gave it to 160 countries. Are we richer than US? Are we richer than Europe? No. Per capita, we are poor. We are today reaching about third stage in the economy because of hard work of Prime Minister Modi. But till this time, we are not by per capita because population is very high. Just imagine we had this big Kumbh Mela. You must have seen that, religious gathering. By 620 million people came on a city which has just 2 million population regularly. And there was no riots, there were no fights, nothing, and people went back smoothly, peacefully. That's the civilizational sense.
Yeah, but they're building their economic off of the people, the masses of the people. So,
Yeah.
we here in the US, that they're using the capitalist system as an economic means to make their monies.
No,
well-
making money is not the problem. Problem is exploitation and problem is not sharing.
Exactly. We
Problem is
understand.
not sharing. Problem is not
Exactly.
making money. Somebody will run an industry, somebody will make money, which is fine. But exploiting the poor and not giving them when in the crisis, like I said, COVID crisis, what was their attitude?
Well,
That shows the difference between old civilization like India and others, where they have seen that everybody should get equal benefit of the science. That didn't happen. So that is the nature of work, that mind of acquisition. For example, the American companies who made vaccine drugs, they would have still survived had they given the drugs free at a low cost, right? Capitalism does not tell you to maximize profit to exploit others to death. It is a mindset, the civilizational mindset. Tomorrow, if you run an industry, you'll never try to exploit like this because civilizational sense of brotherhood that has to be invoked.
We have long been saying that we're in a capitalistic society and competition is what they thrive on. Well, on the surface, you see them competing, but underneath, behind closed doors, they are cooperating with each other,
It's a cartel.
and they're combining their resources so that they can compete. And we think that they're just doing it individually until we start combining our resources and then coming out as the competitors. We're always going to be at the bottom.
See, for example, in our
Yeah,
economic thinking,
we
you know,
have to
yeah,
assess what are our strengths.
yeah,
How can we improve upon them, our weaknesses? And then we have to get with, okay, if this group is good at building and we're good at supplying the materials, this one knows how to do the math and put the diagrams and the schemes together. Let's bring all of this together and use each other's strength to help us deal with and compete with these big businesses and things that's against us. But they have taught us to fight against each other. Actually, what we're looking at is a big pie. 5% of that pie goes to non-white. 95% of the pie white. And they throw something out there to us and have us fighting over the 5% of the pie. And 95% of the pie is untouched. So that's the situation that we're in unless we can come together. And we must come together as people of the world, not just one country.
Right.
We have to go beyond our boundaries and find the assistance and the capabilities that we need to compete with these people.
yeah. That's why Modi ji has talked about global south, and he has seen that the global south is taken on the world stage. That is the entire idea that he comes from the organization who believes in this. And the other thing that we have in our Hindu model of economics is that we don't just say, earn and enjoy. We say earn and enjoy responsibly. Earn and enjoy with sense of morality and ethics. So you're not exploiting somebody else to earn money. So this is the tenet where our model is different from the purely Western exploitative model. So means of ownership, production, all that is there. We have free hand, but what we were taught all these centuries and which you want to bring back is that earn with sense of ethics, earn with sense of what we call dharma, where you are not exploiting somebody to bleed to death, but we are only using the resources and giving it to society back. We have this tradition from very old times that one who earns is also responsible in the society for providing roads or providing buildings or providing medical facility, etc. Not the government. The person who earns the money. Unfortunately, that is lost. Here, even if foundation is made, the foundation itself starts making money. It doesn't serve people, it starts making money. So we have hospitals which are in billions where a poor person can never even go. Because poor person accepts that kind of money. So we have now in India, for example, there is a scheme where the poor can get free medical treatment up to rupees 5 lakhs, which in India is big money. In your case, it will be how much?
5 lakh is
$50,000.
right.
Yeah. Free of cost. So every person, including the old people over 70 years, because over 70 years there is no Mediclaim. That's the joke. So you keep on paying Mediclaim insurance for your life. When you require it, there is no support. So we have also included people over 70 years for this free medical treatment up to 5 lakh rupees, 500,000 rupees. So things can be worked out if governments believe that everybody needs justice, social justice. That is the model that Modi is propagating around the world to have equitable distribution of whatever we can give to others. So wherever we could, we gave to the world. Where others have, they have to give to the world. Claiming that they are Christian and not giving justice to poor is not a Christian person. Because Jesus didn't tell us to do this. Jesus says the poor. This sense of responsibility, what is called ethical capitalism or called positive capitalism, has not seeped through. That is the reason cartels are there. That is much more dangerous capitalism than it was, I would say, 20-30 years back.
Yes.
While on the one side, big technology has allowed you and us to talk to the world, tell our stories, it also allowed these people to create cartels, where big tech is controlling not just money but also our minds.
Now we're
So there are many issues, but I think ultimately this compassion and this urge to come together and this urge to have a brotherly relation with everybody, every community is what will take us through. And that will also give us policies which will be equitable to everybody.
Well, tomorrow, we're supposed to test our economic power. Because nobody is supposed to shop tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, is that how the nationwide?
Don't go to any stores,
Wonderful.
no
Okay.
buying tomorrow.
Interesting, interesting.
And if the nation, if everybody complies, we'll see what impact we have on them.
Right. Interestingly, Japanese have done this earlier.
Yeah.
When they don't have much of agriculture, so when they imported vegetables and all, they were found very expensive. And but the Japanese said, no, they were coming cheap from China and all, but they said no, we will buy a costlier vegetable from Japanese or we will not buy, we will live without it. So within few time, very small period, they came on their knees. So what you are doing is something what Japanese have tried, and that is total self-reliance. That if I can't afford, I will not go, and you must give it to my price. So this kind of fighting for the truth is what I think you are doing wonderful.
And this is the same thing Mahatma Gandhi also. There is also, along with the non-violence, there is a non-cooperation.
Yeah.
And this is a kind of that.
Yeah.
So you try and test your power.
Yeah.
And this is a great thing what you're trying to do it. The question is going to be, are you going to get the cooperation from the entire community?
Right.
That is a challenging
We're going
thing.
to test it.
Test it, right.
Yeah, this will be a test tomorrow.
Yes.
And we will see to what extent others buy into
It's
the
a good demonstration. It's very good idea, so that at least that it will create a sense of seeking justice in a very right manner for the entire community. And hope they listen to you, because that's a very good idea. It's a non-exploitative, non-violent, and it sends a very strong message.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, just the conversation that we're having right now today is very good and is enlightening. And if others would just hear the conversation that we're having, just the thought, hey, there are other countries in the world that have actually had the same level of, unfortunately, hatred toward them. So, and how you overcome, and all the obstacles that you had to overcome to get to that level, and now what you're doing. So if everybody could hear that story all over the United States, that's going to empower us, each and every one of us. So we do thank you all for sharing. And this is an excellent opportunity. Like you said, Ms. Johnson, that technologically, we didn't have it before now, but it is available to everyone. So,
It's a democratization force.
Yeah, and the books are great, but they're also hard to get out if they're not made available.
Right.
So all of these things, they may seem kind of simple, but when people are in poverty, people are just trying to get their medications or trying to eat or pay their light bills or survive, they may not be thinking of all the resources that are available. So with the technology we have today, it has made it open and available to everyone. And now we see all ethnicities trying to come together. Like Ms. Johnson said, we appreciate you all coming and sharing, because I really didn't know that y'all had the same plight as blacks did. So that's good that you shared that with us.
This is a misconception that, see, we are friends with everybody, whether white or black or brown or whatever color the skin. And people don't realize that we have gone through the worst exploitation and genocide for centuries. They somehow believe that we are closer to the whites. Of course, we work in the white society. We work with everybody because we believe in that we are one big family. And we also know that, as I said from the beginning, that we understand how exploitation feels, how negation of your identity feels, and how this sense of isolation, this sense of separation that you have seen from your original land hurts. And that is the reason we must open our hearts, and we must realize that actually we are one, and we are no hatred to anybody. We don't want to exploit our strength now when we are becoming strong, but we want justice for the world as family, not as avenging some bad, something wrong. because those who did are dead. But if today's generation can come out of it, whether whichever race they are, we have a solution. All the conflicts that we see in today's world is because everybody feels that I have a right to exploit somebody else, that I am superior, my thought is superior. India is the only country which has not gone out to exploit people because they feel they are superior to somebody else. We traded for nearly 5,000 years back, right from Latin America to China to Indonesia, Japan, etc., or even Iraq, Middle East. But we never conquered the world. We never exploited people because we had better manufacturing. We had better, control over resources and science. We shared. So that thought has to come back from India, and that is a message for our message to the world, that unless we treat as one family, unless we overcome the past prejudices, we'll have a problem. So whether it's today's America or today's Britain, Indians, there was a prime minister in UK for a few months. So from being exploited, he was ruling the same country which ruled them, but there is no bitterness. So here also, the people from your own community have to rise to a level where they can have tools of power for everybody's good. Obama was one of the cases where he rose to the top and he tried to do something for the entire America, but also for blacks. But more of it is required, because coming to political field and using that field for the betterment of the society, like we did in our country, we struggled for 70 years before Modi became the prime minister, without violence, without anything, just propaganda our ideas, that we have something to give to the world and to India itself, and go back to our own roots. So similar activity, I think that political activism which will help create a positive force of change is what is required. Occasionally somebody winning, occasionally getting a law, that is a demonstration of what we can do, but a sustained effort is required. And I think people like you can give that sustained effort to the community, to the leadership, where they realize that you have to use politics in a positive manner and use that democratic process to see to it that everybody gets justice.
I found out in talking to a friend in Venezuela that some of the things that they do in our community to weaken our generations are happening in other parts of the country. Like he said that they have drugs and they make them plentiful in his country, and most of the young men, the brighter minds, are hooked on these drugs. And I was listening to the radio one day, and there was a man from the United States government, an official, and he said, I found out that the United States is actually supplying the drugs. And then when the people get hooked on the drugs, then they are saying that the drugs are coming out of that country. But no, they're coming right out of the United States of America.
Interesting.
And that, again, is a strategy to destroy our generations. Because
it's a weapon which is going to destroy everybody, regardless of color. Honestly, what stops us from other people to use that same drug? For example, fentanyl has become so cheap now.
Oh, wow.
And it is being distributed even in India from various sources, and even even unethical people, they are also manufacturing. That's what I hear, and there is of course cross-border smuggling. So when you say that you can destroy a generation, it can be any generation. It can be white or black or brown, because drugs don't have color. They go to anybody. They don't prefer a particular caste or race. So this has to go, and as you said, this is what is being done, but it can hurt everybody.
Yeah.
It is not just going to hurt Venezuela or Mexico or you in Africa, in America.
Yeah.
It will destroy everybody. Yeah. The white can also use the same drug. What stops him? So that generation will also lose. Ultimately, this kind of trade, this kind of drugs are actually destroying the entire new generation, and that's the biggest danger.
So it's 12:05, so I think we had a good dialogue, and as you rightly said, yes, we need to continue to meet, but for that, continue to unite, for that we have to continue to have a dialogue. And we started this dialogue, comes Teresa, and then you are coming to our function, we are going to talk about it, give this all the significance behind Black Heritage Month and all those stuff, and then that will also enrich our people to get to know this side of. So
you're studying, okay, he will understand something. I'm not even understanding that depth because I've not read so much about Africa, but I know because of the conferences we had and the pain we could feel. And but there are people who know nothing. Like just you don't know about Hindus or Indians. We don't know about blacks the way the overall people. So this needs to go through.
Yes.
You know, they also look at TV screen or riots or theft and all, but they don't know what's inside, that what is boiling inside, and why it can't be controlled and how it can be controlled. So this exchange, this knowledge also has to happen. It's like you didn't know whereas there were so many years how we suffered. We don't know that we can't. I mean, a few people like us who research fine, but the common person doesn't know. When you go to this temple and suppose you tell about a history, I'm very sure 80% don't know.
Okay.
Because there is no reason to know, honestly.
Right.
Who is interested today? See that today's generation is all, SMS, WhatsApp, 10-minute video, 1-minute video, Instagram. So that urge to know has to become, oral. It has to happen through meeting. Otherwise, people are just happy with their lives. Whether Indians, whites or, blacks, everybody is happy with whatever they're doing. There'll be blacks who are enjoying wonderful life. They're not bothered about what's happening to their own community. Right? So that's why telling is important.
Right.
Hopefully, when we go to them, Ms. Brewer, we can have handouts on all of those inventions from black people and contributions to society. So they have it.
That is one. Second is also the history of exploitation or enslavement and the cruelty. But
Okay.
we see on the social media, but that is just a flash, see the Africans being chained and shown as exhibits, etc. It's
Yeah.
very painful. But the story of millions having been taken by a ship, dying on the ship and reaching their identity taken away, their complete
That needs to
culture
be
taken
shared.
away, that needs to be shared.
That's what you're saying.
Pain, because that is common. The methodology may have been different in India, different in Africa, different in somewhere else, but that remains. That
Yeah.
exploitation of humans in the name of religion to exploit their own economic goods, right? So
Right.
they have used religion, but that is good. But that if that is known to everybody, to each other, then at least we are more sensitized,
Yeah.
more understanding why a community in a certain way, why Hindus are behave in a certain way, why blacks behave in a certain way. They will understand, they will have empathy, they will have sensitization. It will not change anything. Sensitization will change the behavior with each other,
Yeah.
which is very important.
This is
I
good.
think this is a start.
Yeah, this is
It's
good.
start,
It's a
yeah.
start. Yes.
See, like Jews tell their story in the exhibitions.
Yeah. And we
Very
will,
effective. Do
we'll
we do that?
Yeah, we'll do that share story.
Yeah. Now, for example, you are trying to create an exhibition,
Yes.
right? Or you go and tell your stories. Our people come and tell our stories. So we realize, okay, we are all in together, and we have found way, others will find way. So that's what it is.
The collaboration,
Yeah.
Dr.
It
Reverend.
has taken 75 years
Yeah.
of our independence. We are still struggling to decolonize our mind
Wow. 75 years.
after independence, because the people who became rulers, they were following the same British story, they were following the same British history. Now we are saying, no, we have our own history. It must be told to the youth as they understand, they realize who we are. So that sense of justice comes in, the sense of pride comes in. Similarly, your history, which can be told to the youth of your own community. See, today youth may be only knowing the anchor, discrimination, but that pain they may not understand because they just see their present, because there are not enough books written by you, probably. So that needs to be more to be written, more to be told.
Okay.
And then again, like you said, boycott is something which is very peaceful, which is not against anybody, but which will get that sense of consolidation. Okay, we are here and we are here, we can impact on the society without getting violent, without hurting anybody, but asserting our rights, asserting our identity.
Good.
Well, good.
Well, Dr. Reverend Derek King said it best, that we're better together.
Yes.
So this is a start, and we respect each other. That's what we do here at Black Heritage. We can unite in respect. We resist, we're resilient, we rise above, and we love. So thank
I think
you
the
all.
greatest lesson that
we'll-
Martin
we
Luther King guys,
overcome.
no hate.
No hate.
What is
There isn't room for hate.
Yeah, because the
No,
way
no.
Martin Luther King, suffered, Nelson Mandela suffered, but they didn't carry hate. That is what they learned love and getting over what is past, but knowing the past and then getting over it. There is a difference. I believe that unless you come out of that, sense of injustice by knowing what it was,
Right.
you don't really find way. Then only anger simmers. So we must tell our story. We must,
Tell
share
our
that
story.
grief, and
Yeah.
then we can come out of this period of hate, this period of animosity with any other race or whatever it is. So I think then we can have a peace around the world.
Yes, I like that global peace around the world, thank you
Yeah.
for that.
Global.
And, let's share our stories, because they wanna know the African American plight, what actually happened.
Yeah.
So let's share that, I like that, I mean, that sounds great, and we didn't know their story, the Indians, so now we have that in our archive, so we wanna paint a picture, so we'll do that this coming Sunday.
Sure.
To the best of our ability to paint a picture, and we thank you all
It will
for
take
coming.
time. It will take a lot of time.
It's gonna take time, but we
But
started,
it's not-
we're starting,
It's
so,
a good start, yeah, it's a good start.
Sustained effort requires patience and requires, realizing it's a long struggle, a positive struggle.
well, Dr. Sharon, I hope that, Reverend Derek King be here in, this coming 2026, and we hope that we do our due diligence to get you all together, cause I know that's what he's gonna talk about. So let's definitely keep in touch, so that we can
Definitely.
make things happen.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Yes. Okay, and we thank you and appreciate you inviting us and then accommodating us and setting up this meeting with you and Dr. King.
No wine tomorrow.
Yeah,
No purchases
No,
tomorrow.
We'll contribute to that. We'll also do that, no purchases. So.
That's why social media becomes very important. So I say